about 3 years ago. It was my husband, myself, and my 12-year-old daughter now. She's about to turn 13 next week. When one night we got a phone call, a family friend of ours, my husband's actual mentor, has children, and one of his children gave a police officer our telephone number. So we received a phone call at about 11 o'clock at night from Child Protective Services. And the phone call pretty much went, we have children here in custody, their parents have been incarcerated, and their parents gave us your telephone number. They were wondering if you would be able to come get the children. So of course at 11 o'clock at night, my husband and I are asleep, so we had to kind of wake all the way up. Then we asked him if there was a number that we could call them back at. We hung up the phone, me and him had a conversation, and then we called Child Protective Services back with lots of questions. We wanted to know who the people were that they were saying again, because we weren't that close with them. So at 11 o'clock at night when we were both asleep, the name didn't really ring a bell to us. So we wanted to know exactly what happened, were the kids safe, and the story pretty much went, the mother and the father got into a domestic violence dispute, and the police were called out to their home. When the police arrived there, they took both parents to jail. With them taking both parents to jail, there were 3 children in the home, so those 3 children had to go to Child Protective Services. Well, there's a couple of things, I guess, that happen once children go to Child Protective Services. They have 48 hours to be put into a foster home. If they're not put into a foster home within those 48 hours, they try to send them to people that the children already know. But if they cannot place the kids with family members or fictive kin, which is considered to be friends of the family, within 48 hours, then the children are sent to foster care homes. The only thing with that is, a lot of times when there is siblings, more than one child, it's hard to place them all in the same home. But CPS tries to place them in the same home together if they can. In this situation, things were a little more complicated because the youngest child, who was 1 at that time, had hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. So he's considered to be a special needs child, and that makes things a little more complicated when it comes to placing him in a home, because they have to find a home that is willing to take a child that has special needs, and they have to make sure that the foster parents understand his needs so that they're able to take care of him appropriately. So after praying about it, me and my husband decided yes, we would go down and get the children. But of course, before you can go get the children, there are certain things you have to do. You have to get fingerprinted, and you also have to do like a criminal background check. And I think that takes a total of 24 hours. So the next morning we woke up, I called into work, we went and did the fingerprinting, and we did the background checks, and then later on that day they contacted us and told us that the children could be placed in our Once the children became placed in our home, now I have 4 kids. I have my stepdaughter and the 3 children. The children were with us for about a week, and we get another call from Child Protection Services, and it's the caseworker, and she says, no one never mentioned to me that when Mom went to jail, she was pregnant. And I got a call from the jailhouse today that says that she's in labor. When she gets out of labor, are you willing to take her new baby? Shocked because mother wasn't due for another month and a half, but we believe maybe the stress of the domestic violence and then being incarcerated kind of made her go into labor early. So after Mom had the baby, she had the baby that night, we went back to Child Protective Services and picked up the newborn baby. So then we had 5 children there. I would say the first month was interesting at the least. There were numerous things going on. My daughter, like I said, was already 9. It's been a long time since we had did the diapers, bottles, those types of things. So it was definitely a learning process. And then not only did I have just one child to learn or take care of, I had 4 small children to take care of. Yeah, it was. It really, really was. Only because with him being so young, unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of medical history. His parents had not taken him to the doctor a lot. So even though it was diagnosed that he had water on the brain and cerebral palsy, he hadn't done any type of therapies or any follow-up appointments. So the first months, I was taking him to the doctor at least 4 times a week, just for them to try to get a handle on what was going on. He ended up having to do emergency surgery to get a shunt placed in his head to allow some of the water to drip because his head was becoming too large. It was getting larger and larger. So that was really hard. We did a total of 4 brain surgeries throughout the whole time that little guy stayed with us.
So looking back, you said you currently have 3 children. Can you please explain why you had to give 2 away?
Sure. After numerous attempts with the court trying to allow the parents to get the children back because both of them are no longer incarcerated, only 2 of them were allowed to go back. And the reason why 2 of them were allowed to go back is during the time that they were with my husband and I, which is for over 3 years, they did a paternity test on the children, and when they did a paternity test on the children, only 2 of them belonged to the initial father, who was named for all of the children. So they tried to allow the mother the opportunity to get all 4 children back, and unfortunately she just didn't do the things that she needed to do in order to get the children back. So then they gave the father the opportunity to get the children back, but according to Nevada law, he's only eligible to get his 2 children back. So that's why only 2 of them were allowed to go.
How did you feel having to give these 2 children away?
That's a really hard question. It was kind of a bittersweet feeling. I was really excited and happy for the 2 children that were able to go back with their father, just because I do feel like children should be with their family. But then at the same time, it was kind of heartbreaking because I felt like I had
In this experience, has it made you a better person, a stronger person? Just how has it changed you?
It's completely changed my life in every way possible. It's definitely made me a better cook because I had to get used to cooking for so many children. But it's also made me realize, because I've never birthed a child before, I never really had the experience of how you absolutely cannot be selfish when you are a parent. And before the children came into my life, I considered myself to be a decent person, a good person. I've always loved children. I've always helped out, like in ministry, those type of things at my church. Kids have always been a big part of my life. But once I became a mother figure to these children, it definitely took things to the next level. And now I completely understand when you see movies or you read stories about, mothers having the strength of 10 men and pushing a car off their little baby or something like that. I really see how love is definitely not a selfish act. And when you have these little kids in your life that look to you for everything, look to you to eat, look to you to be clothed, how it definitely can challenge your faith. And it's either going to make you a stronger person or make you crack. And I just thank God in my case, it made me a stronger